Hi everybody. As I have a puff on my e-cig, well, vape, I guess is the word. Just bringing up my channel so I can see the chat. Otherwise, I can't see it in Google without bringing it up. Just bringing up my channel and then muting. I'm getting better at switching and going from one to the other. Hi Munson Burner, how you doing? Great to see you. Just wait for a few people to pop in. How you doing, Taylor? How's all your babies doing lately? I saw your video where you had a friend over and was letting him have some time with them. Pretty good. That's good. Hi Carolyn. Hi Neo. Morning to you. You've been up since the crack of dawn. Well, even before. Probably knowing you, Neo. Hi, Yvette. How you going, sis? Lovely to see you. Hi, Joe. Welcome. Can everybody see okay? Because I haven't actually got the bright lights on or the big light on. So if you want me to turn it on, I will. As always. Yeah, I know, Neo. I'm very much the same. I'm up pretty early in the mornings, and most mornings I do see the sunshine. Thank you, sis. Yeah, it was a happy birthday, except for that heartfelt video from Neo and Heidi that, believe me, they were tears of just not sadness but of happiness, because you can cry with happy tears. You can see both fine. Okay. Hi Purple or Blue. Thanks for your birthday wishes. Much appreciated. A little bit dark, but not too bad. Thanks, Joe. You're still in bed, Yvette. I'm guessing, well, you're a couple of hours earlier than me over there. Good evening or morning. Yeah. Hi, Carolyn. It's morning here. Hi, Spirit in the Sky Blue. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you very much. I cry every time. I'm glad you had a good day. I did have a good day. Had all the family arrive, and hi Barrow Boy Woods. Welcome and thank you for popping in. Lovely to see you all. Yeah, she is a bit dark. You can't really see her patterns. So if you can just excuse me for a minute, and I will flick that light on, because unless I bring her right up, and then you can see Miss Maya. Hi Heidi, welcome hun. You love my snakes. So does Mum love her snakes. Just in case you didn't already know that, which I know most of you do know. I'm good. Looks like Lily. No, Lily actually has a full belly, Carolyn, so she doesn't want out today, but she's had plenty of time. Thanks, Heidi. She's had plenty of time out this last sort of 10 days or so. She's digested, came out every day, and she's been out from 6 in the morning until 9 o'clock at night, when I just go, enough's enough, Lily, you're going home. She's that one snake that would live her life out here with me if I would actually let her. Probably the only one that I think would, out of all of my snakes, as much as they all love coming out and sometimes don't want to go back home. Most of them are more willing to go back into their little homes. Not Lily. No way. She fights me to go go home every time, and then she goes back in and she sulks. She just sits there sulking, like I've done something really terrible to her. But my gosh, I've got to have time to have a shower, but like I do, I take Lily with me a lot of the times, but sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's you've had a pretty good day of it, Lily. I don't think you've missed out on having your time out. And I guess this is my topic, isn't it? What is the best life that we can give our snakes? It's really something that we all have different views on, and I understand that. But look at this cute face. Maya, everybody's seeing you today, and the reason she's out is because she's, for the last 4 days, has been wanting out, and every day she's been out, and she's been at a door. So every day Maya has been out. And I want you to understand in me saying that snakes can get used to staying in too. Trust me. Like Tessa. You know those ones that are a little bit more harder to socialise, which Tessa has been. She went into shed. She has been in her enclosure. She's shed, but she spent 2 weeks hiding away in her hide. And I left her alone. And I let her be, which I do with my snakes. I waited until she shed. A couple of days later, I gave her a good feed, let her digest. Then I opened up the door because it's time for her to come out. You know, come on, Tess, you've been tucked away for days, well, 2 weeks or more. It's time to come out. They forget that. That's what. Hi, Peggy. This is little Miss Maya. Lily's got a full belly, eating about 7 mice, 8, I think, mice last night. So she's full as a goog, as we say. But this is Maya, who is my blonde spotted python, who is as social and outgoing and everything that my Lily is. She's just in a smaller package. She's a blonde spotted. Hi, Lizette. Oh, thanks, sweet. Oh, that's lovely. That's really nice. Yeah, Heidi, she is. You thought it was, yeah. Look, I guess on camera, it's till you really get a good look at them, and then you realise, I mean, Lily is, you know, here, and Maya's still pretty big, but I was just talking about Tessa and them getting used to being just left alone, and they get into that mode. And anyway, yesterday, of all days, the day of my birthday, I went, Tess, you're coming out today. I've given you, yes, she is smaller, Peggy, much smaller than Lily. So you see the size of the head. I mean, Lily's is almost the size of the palm of my hand, but yeah, little Maya, she's a tiny little button, this girl, compared to Lily and Jack and even Jessie and even Tessa. But getting back to Tess, no, well, in saying, Carolyn, that they don't bite, this is where I'm going with Tessa. I had the family here. My son, Matt, is somebody who I will get my snakes out and let him handle them because he's very calm and easygoing and has it doesn't bother him if a snake should bite him. We don't want to get bitten, but it doesn't bother him. So I thought, good, I'm going to get Tessa out and give her a little bit of time today because she's been a bit of a snob, as I will say they can be. And wow, Tessa did not like it was an instant, you are not getting me out today. And I could see it in her attitude. Yeah, Peggy's a good singer. Hey, Spirit in Blue, in the Sky Blue. Love her singing too. And those Beth Hart songs, wow. I could listen to them all day, Peggy. You sing them so well. But yeah, I went to get Tessa out, and I knew it. I could see straight away I was going to be in a bit of a battle. And ordinarily, hi Megan, or is it Megan or Megan? Everybody pronounces that different, but welcome. Thanks for popping in. It's great to see you. So yeah, they're not always wanting to come out, and you're going to get times when they just go, "You're welcome, Peggy. You deserve it." Oh, thanks, Megan. That's lovely. Lovely of you to say. But I was determined. You've had too much time on your own, and you need to come out. So me being me, oh, I was actually going to get her out, but she's got a full belly because I fed her yesterday. But maybe next week. But she's been a grumpy grump. Hi, carry on, Jeff and John. Welcome. Thank you. Yes, you do very much support my channel. And it's very much appreciated that you do. So me being me, saying, okay, Tess, let's go. And I was watching her, but Matt distracted me for that split second. And next minute, crunch. And she got me. And she didn't bite me and hang on. She just tagged me and said, which one? Are they grumpy when they shed? It's not about that they're grumpy, Peggy. It's more about their skin is very sensitive over that time, and they do lose their eyesight as well, because they build up fluids and everything to shed the eye cap, so they can be blind. So they feel rather vulnerable and a little afraid. Thanks, Jeff and John. That I think they are awesome too, even the ones that decide to bite me occasionally. But yeah, so Tessa got me. Now, in all honesty, I mean, you can see a little mark here and maybe a little mark over this side, but she just went bang, bang straight away. And then she, well, I've got you now, you'll just leave me alone. But she was wrong. I just kept going, and I think she was more startled that I didn't freak and move away from her. I just kept going, and I got her out. And of course, I get her out, and she's happy to be out. She loves being out. And she was out with me for a good half hour. And Matt, of course, held her. He has no problem in holding her. No, it don't hurt. Yeah, cats bites hurt, and they grab with the claws and go and bite at the same time, whereas at least the snake, it's a mouth, and yeah, they can wrap like this, but that's more of a feeding response bite, whereas Tessa just gave me that quick tag. So I laughed a little bit and said, oh, well, that's a birthday bite. Like, good on you, Tessa. But after having her out for 20 minutes, half an hour, she didn't want to go home. And no matter that I was offering her through her door, now she was turning her back and coming back onto me. So that's what I mean. It's about being rather consistent with handling them. They never forget that you're nothing to fear, but they get like me, become a homebody, and I really am forced sometimes to go out my front door, and I don't like it. The only difference is I don't bite anybody when I don't want to go out the front door, where snakes will do that. So yeah, I got a birthday bite from Tessa. So I went from handling Tessa to then going and handling Sia, who is another snake that's still getting socialized. She was good. She did really well. A few hisses and back up at me, but all in all, if I had to choice, I'd pick Sia up more than going in to get Tessa at the moment, which I will try and happy hermits. And that's what I tell people. I am a happy hermit, Heidi. I am happy to be home. I love people coming here and being in my home. But when I go somewhere, I have to feel comfortable as well in their home, and then I'll freely go there. You know, when you go to some places and it's just not got that feeling. And I'm not being mean here. Everybody is different, but I have a couple of good friends where I go there and I feel at home. And I have a couple of friends where you're too scared to scrunch a cushion on the couch. That's where I'm not comfortable. Oh, thanks, Megan. Yeah, it is, isn't it, Megan? Happy hermits. Why can't you be happy? A lot of people save snake, aka KT. Welcome to the stream. Hi, X written in black. How are you? Sorry, I get chatting. Bears, aquatics. Oh, it's Eric. Hey, Eric. How you go? You did another channel. I'll have to subscribe. Thanks. I will be able to do that. Yeah, I think sometimes people don't know how to be on their own and be at home. And when you can find that you can be at home on your own and be happy with that and not feel lonely, or that you need to have somebody around, believe me, that is the best place you'll ever be in your life, is finding that peace at home on your own. And I am at peace, and I have my snakes, but I don't always have a snake out. I have no noise, no TV, no nothing. I just sit here on my own. And people say, how do you do it? Don't you get bored? No, I don't get bored. I might draw, I might fiddle around, like I do a lot of tapestry. Not that you've ever seen me doing it. Actually, I'm doing one at the moment that I've got a bit to go on it. Come see the channel community live stream meeting. Hope to see you in our heaven. Okay. I don't mind people asking people certain things, but let's stick with the people here and what our subject is and so forth. And I will have a look at the safe snake, and we'll see how that is. Yeah, me time is very important to us. I think, Peggy, I'm not young anymore, and I've been out there and I've socialized and I've partied and I've done all that stuff. And I think you just get to a point in your life where you need to just kick back a bit and slow down a little bit. And we just get so lost in the hype of what people seem to think is life, and it's not being out there and partying and always being that social person. And in the end, you end up with what? A few good friends out of all of that. You might know many, but not all of them are your friend. And I learnt that a long time ago. And I like my group of friends, and I can probably count them on one hand. And I always say, people say, oh, I've got so many, lots and lots of friends. How can you be a good friend to 20 people? I wouldn't have the time to be a good friend to more than half a dozen people. The time, because it's time, you know, putting in with them. It's not just, oh yeah, they're my friend, but I never speak to them once in a month, and I never go visit them, and I never have them come round here, but, well, they're my good friend. No, they're not. They're an acquaintance. My friends, I will help. I'm there. I will do anything that they need me to do, and I've got the time. Otherwise, 20 friends, I wouldn't have the time. I just wouldn't have the time, and I wouldn't be a good friend at all. So I think that's where we can get lost, with people saying, wow, I've got so many friends in my life. I laugh now and I go, yeah, righto, good on you. Like all these people that have, how many do we see on Facebook that say, you know, they got 700 people on there? And why? Well, don't even know these people really. And they think all the young ones, and I'm talking about young ones, those older ones are a bit more wiser, but honestly, they're not friends. Oh, I've got 700 Facebook friends. Well, whoopee-doo. Well, good on you. I can't keep up with the ones that I have. I'm not very big on Facebook, guys, just so you know. And I'm not even really huge on my carpet license page either. Like I said, I'm a bit of a hermit in many ways. This is a different thing. It's more personable. Even though I'm sitting here looking at myself talking, it is and can be personable if you get to know the people and take the time to know people on here. And I hear people go on and on and on about all these horrible people that exist here on YouTube, and I'm not saying that they don't. They exist out in real life too. But if you shut down and shut yourself off because of those bad people, you'll never get to meet good people. And there's plenty of them, and they're right here on my channel right now. So when you're being and feeling disillusioned by YouTube because you've had a few bad comments thrown at you or somebody's picking on you, remember the ones that are here because they care and they like you. Don't worry about the ones that don't like you at all. They're just so unimportant, honestly. And Neo's just done a video about bullies and people like that. And go and take a look at it from Neo's perspective. There's just too much of it going on, and it's sad. And I would hope that people of our age, or I know there's people here, hi Deadhead, welcome, that are younger than me, but even they're wising up much younger today to let go of those people that do nothing but cause you pain and hurt. You just don't need it. We live one life, and I want it to be great and wonderful and happy. And if that means I have to say goodbye to some people, then I have to do it. I've had it affect my health, because I've been one that's believed that everybody should like me because I'm a good person. You know, I felt I was a good person. To have somebody not like me was like, why don't they like me? I'm a really good person, and I am a really good friend to people. How can they not like me? But I realized some people just don't like you, and it's okay. We have to be brave and help ourselves and others to put an end to the bullying, and we do. And too much of it is here. It's too easy on here, actually, more than anything. So talking about the subject of giving our snakes the best life possible. Thanks, Heidi. You know, I get sometimes bullied and told that they prefer the opposite, and should be just left alone and left in their enclosures and live their life in their enclosures, that they're not meant to be with us, that they tolerate us only. And that's okay. If people want to believe that, to be the way that it is, then that's what they believe. But I don't. I just don't. And not everybody but does, Heidi. A lot of people are respectful, but I know the undertone. But are respectful, and I'm okay with somebody that's respectful when they give me that information. Some aren't at all. My snakes all eat, are all active. High super bay, sugar bay. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I'm sorry if I mucked that up totally. But welcome. You and Carla and Azzy are helping. Yes, I do believe that we are, Heidi, not just me. I mean, Carla's been doing it for years and years, and I didn't even know she was. And I'm so glad that I know Carla, and of course she is a me, which was amazing to find Carla have feelings and emotions too, but not everyone. No, not everybody thinks that a snake. And I'm going to do a video about emotions and stick with each individual emotion that I've seen from my snake and explain the reasoning behind why I see that emotion, and then I'll leave it up to you as to whether you can come back with, well, I would see that as, and not what you saw. And I'm sure that I'm going to get people that will do that. You know, I hope that I can read my snakes pretty well. I pretty well read Tessa yesterday, knew I get bitten, and it was my fault for not concentrating. Yeah, Mary, I do too. And as you all know, Carla's been through a pretty rough time and a very stressful time. Hi, Tuxedo Mask. Thank you. Thank you very much. Lovely to see you today. But if you don't know, Carla has been going through a pretty bad time and was very stressed, and was, well, to the degree that she could have lost some of her snakes. It was that bad, the weather and how cold it was, and of all things at that point, to lose power. And she just didn't lose it, you know, for a few hours. She lost it for, I think, 3 or 4 days, and that is dangerous when you've got snakes. And she did everything, and to save her snakes. And if I know Carla, she would have frozen before her snakes did. And fortunately, her power's back on, and every one of her snakes came through perfectly fine, and I never doubted for 1 second that they would. And she talks a little bit about being prepared for those times, because it could happen even to me. And what would we do with no power for 4-5 days? So I'm saving my money, and I am going to be getting myself a generator to have in case of those times, because it's vital if you own snakes to have backup. I've got little, you were born with spina bifida disability, but have had horses, dogs, snakes, etc. Good on you, Mary. Why not? Animals are so healing to us. They really are. And never underestimate a disability in not being able to love and care for animals in your life, because in actual fact, I think you do better in many ways. And I think the animals also have such a bond with you, knowing how important they are to you in your life. Good on you, Mary. That's fantastic. Hi, Hazel. Welcome. And was afraid I was too, Mary. As I said, if I'd lived near her, I'd have been round there at night so she could get some shut-eye, and I'd have been vigilant and making sure that the snakes were all being kept nice and warm. Believe me, you know, we'd take turns about. She could get a few hours, I'd get a few hours, but I would have been a mess if it had been me. And but we know Carla, boy oh boy, and I know if she'd have lost one snake, my goodness, I don't even want to imagine how she'd have felt through this. Yeah, I don't even want to go there. You heard, oh, hi, September Girl 7, you heard, that's so scary. Few hours once, and I was panicking. Yeah, I've had it happen here too, but fortunately we get most of our storms over the summer, so it's generally quite warm here, even so. So I kind of know my snakes are fine, and I live in a climate where even in winter it doesn't get too cold, but I do have heat packs, you know, that we would put in if we were to ship snakes, and I know that I can crack those, and I have a big box and put in their enclosures and keep them nice and warm, and they last for a good couple of hours. So I just keep cracking them and putting them in and making sure my snakes were nice and warm. Of course, the little ones I could get out and snuggle up with anyway, especially the little Apanis and Myers. Lily, she doesn't know what's good for her, and she'd just want to be exploring. She wouldn't care about the cold at all. So, but yeah, we all have our beliefs on how to care for snakes, and I respect that. You love a chewy. I and Jack, you know, two peas in a pod, really, Jack and Chewy. I tell you, they are. Chewy has attitude at times, and so does Jack. So I can really relate to Carla in her life and how she lives, because it's so similar, and yet we live so far apart. Yeah, but to find somebody that is really so much like me, and even in things that she buys, my rug on the floor is exactly the same rug as what she's got on her floor, and yet we've never talked about buying things, and she'll notice I've got one of those and I've got the same coloured thing, and very similar. Actually, put all mine in blankets and put them inside my shirt. Yeah, absolutely. Why not? We'll do anything. You don't have snake, but it's all good to know. Maybe in the future you will. You never know, Tuxedo. And I've had people very much recently that have not had a snake and are now getting snakes and have actually gone with carpet pythons. So, you know, and they've got choices of anything that they could possibly want, and they've decided to get carpet pythons, and that's great. That is really great. They are a great snake to have in your life, and so are these little ones. Don't get me wrong, I love my little guys. Don't I, Maya? As you can see, look, how easy it to have Maya. If this was Lily, would she still be here? No way. I guess if Maya had a choice, she wouldn't be either. She'd be up on the hangout spot. She knows that's up there, and she'll head for it herself, little and all that she is. Spirit brothers and sisters around the world that we've never met. You're right, Mary. Absolutely. Or me and Carla have known each other previously in life, and we're now here doing this journey the same, pretty much the same journey, same beliefs. And her beliefs are not putting your snake in an enclosure and leaving them. Definitely not. And more people are starting to see that isn't the way, that it is about letting them come out, explore, you know, exercise in the wild. Do they just stay in one spot and live in one little place and go from there to there to there to there? No. They climb the trees, they go in the rocks, they go behind rocks and curl up and go to sleep, and then they come out, they sun themselves on the rocks. They do have territories that they'll stick to, but that territory is huge. It isn't 4 foot by 2 foot. It is massive. Hence why I have all these climbing areas for my snakes. I know it's not the same as being out in the wild. I can't do that for them, but I want to do as much as I can to give them a sense of freedom when they are out. And, you know, I know that Lily, she comes out, she greets me. You know, she says, "G'day, Mum. How you going?" And then off she goes. That's all I wanted to do. She doesn't have to hang off me the whole time if she doesn't choose to. And I'm in a position where I can let my snakes go and do that. Not everybody is, and I understand you would have to, like I'm doing right now. I'm keeping Maya close. She can go and disappear real fast, this little one, and I would spend a lot of time finding her, and I don't feel like doing that today, thanks. So she's going to hang here with me. But, you know, people say any snake is capable of biting you at any time, and they are, that they're wild animals all of the time. Do you know what? I don't think this girl's got a bite in her. I honestly don't. And I know somebody's going to dispute that and say she's as capable of biting you as any snake. Not Maya. Honestly. If I were to be ramming her in the face with my hand and smacking her over the head or something, yeah, sure. But I tell you what, that's what it would take for this girl to bite me. That is how much trust I have with her. And do I trust Lily the same way? Yep, pretty much. Do I trust Jack in the same way? No. No, I don't. Tessa? No. Maya, Apani, Lily, Jessie even. Yes, I have that trust. And I think if you know your snake, you'll know. And honestly, I could pretty much stick my finger in this girl's mouth and I don't think she'd chomp on it. That's how easygoing Maya is. So, no, I don't think that every snake would bite you. Some will, some won't. I'll just read some of that. You love your ball pythons, Joe, I know. but I'm so glad that you got into carpets. You and Carla were a big inspiration to get, yes. And I'm glad, Joe, because, and I know you're having a little bit of problems. Don't worry. Like I said, you're not on your own. I've got it with my Tess, and I've got to get that real fast out of her, because she's going to be a big girl, a really big girl. And she's already as long as I am tall, and I'm 5'2", and so is Tessa. And I was actually saw a video just recently of some Bredleys that were 2 years old and half the size of Tessa. And I'm thinking, my goodness, how is that? Tessa is maybe 15 months, 16 months old. So she's nowhere near 2. She is huge. And she's only going to get bigger. So I've got to get her out of that biting me. Joe Alice Tate, welcome. Thank you for popping in. They're super fast too, aren't they? They are really fast. Your king snake out, and she's energetic. Yes, they are. Absolutely. And very similar in terms of energetic as what carpets are, September girl. They really are. And so are corn snakes, very energetic as well, compared to your ball pythons and your boas and so forth. You know, the one thing that I think I would love, and why I would love a ball python, is so that maybe I might have one that would curl up on my lap and be happy to stay there, because none of mine do. Yeah, Joe Alice says, hope we're all doing well. She's getting better. She will, Joe, and you know she will. I know my guys will too with time, but a few more bites, I think, from Tessa by the looks of it. I don't think every snake or animal would bite. You just got to give it a reason to. Yeah, absolutely. You know, Jack wouldn't as such bite me, but he's just giving me the signal of I'm not in the mood, and he'll hiss at me, but he never arcs at me like he will bite me. But, you know, I can go in there, and I know he's probably not wanting to come out, and I'll touch him, and he'll spin around and look dead at my hand, but I don't move it. I just leave it very still on him, and he eventually just turns around and keeps going. Thank goodness. I wouldn't want to take a bite from Jack either. But then if I saw him going and looking, and I can pretty much picture it, if they're going to bite, I'd take my hand out. But Jack has never gone at me at all. So I'm pretty comfortable with Jack, but I still, like I said, I think he would, if I didn't heed his warnings at me and back off a little bit. Generally, Jack will come out on his own, so I don't force him to do anything anyway. So I know that, well, there's no reason to bite me because he's wanted to come out. So yeah, you've got to pick your moment. Because this girl, I don't, you know, she doesn't arc, but boy, she snatches her rats. So, but she knows that I'm not one, don't you? But what is Jack's length and weight? You're talking about? No, JKR. Another guy has a few actually, and they would be, yeah, honestly, half the size of Tessa and twice the age of Tessa. So I don't know whether I'm feeding my girl too much or what. But remember, my guys get a lot of exercise and do a lot of climbing as well. And I think that makes a bigger snake. Absolutely makes a much bigger, musclier snake. Is exercise and 4 feet long. Right, and Tessa is 15 months old and about 5'4". Jack length. Jack is about 7.5 foot, and weight is about 4.5 kilos. Jack doesn't look it, but when you pick him up, you feel it for sure. Hi, Dad Perfect 123. Thank you. Thanks for dropping in. I do appreciate it. What size feeder is Maya having? Maya is eating extra large weaners, but she only eats, at the moment, summer, she's on like a 10-day routine. In winter, she'll click to a 14-day routine, but she eats extra large weaners and does pretty well on those. Of course, if you think that they're a little bit too large, but they need the bigger size, you can give a weaner and give them 2 weaners, or give them a weaner and a hopper. There's no rule. You know, that makes me laugh. Don't double feed. It's got to be a 7-day routine or a 2-week routine or a monthly routine. What a load of bull. Absolute bull. Because my poor snakes are suffering, aren't you? Because I just do what I feel. And like last night, Tessa ate 3 large weaners and was still looking for more. Sia ate 3 large weaners too. Go with what you feel your snake wants. Stop going by a book. That's a little bit of this conversation while I'm still here. Yeah, weaner rats, that's perfect. I think Ishwa is a little bit smaller than Maya, but, you know, you could give her a weaner and a hopper if you really wanted to, Heidi, and see how she goes, especially over summer when they are doing a bit of a growth spurt. Won't hurt her. Tells us, yeah, they do tell us when they're hungry. Yeah, I know, September Girl 70. I sort of go, you guts. But I tell you what, it's only certain times of the year that they eat, and we know when that is, and it's summer. And I do put a stop. Yeah, Ishi is still on mice. Well, what I would try and do actually, Heidi, is piggyback her and give her a small mouse and try and push a hopper rat or even a fuzzy rat in while her mouth's open and she's swallowing, and get a rat in and try and switch it to a rat. It can be done. Honestly, it can be done. And I'm tempted to try and do it with Lily, but in actual fact, I'm tempted in sewing a rat's nose to a mouse's butt. If you get what I'm saying, making it a train to get Lily back onto rats. That's what I want to do. And you could do that too. Piggyback. So the rat onto the mouse. She has no choice but to take it down, and won't hurt them. Hi, Svap. Hey, how you going? Thanks for popping in. Much appreciated. But going into doing it the way that we do it and what we feel is best. You know, there's no book that tells us anything other than, oh, your second live stream. Yeah. Basically, A book will tell you the environment within their enclosure, the heating, humidity, what they like, where they come from in the wild. There's just no books that talk about this care of them, or my care of them. And that's a real shame. And I mentioned before, I'm thinking about doing little chapters and doing a book chapter by chapter, not a whole book, just starting at the beginning and going through on my life experiences so far, because I haven't had a lifetime of experience, but my experiences thus far on what I've seen and what I've felt has worked, and giving people another way of caring for snakes and what a book says, because no book says that a snake needs to socialize with you. There is no book. I've never found one. And how to do that, and how to be able to do that. And I don't ever want people to think that you can tame a snake, because you can't tame a snake, but you can certainly get them to accept you as the human in their life and to trust you. And I'd like to do a book all about that as well, and the emotions that I've seen and the smarts that I've seen from a snake. And you think that they have a tiny little brain, and because of their size, but I tell you what, it's not all instinct. You know, for example, that cat thing that I made that you saw Lily on in the video, they don't bump into one of those in the wild. It's not a natural thing in their environment, and yet Lily had no fear of it. She was a little bit, what is this, and checked it all out. But in reality, instinctually, for me, she would go the other way. She would avoid it. She wouldn't go anywhere near it, because we say fear is more natural to them in so many ways around us and in our lives. But in actual fact, it's the opposite. You know, a snake is meant to fear a dog, a cat. Gosh, my snakes crawl all over my cats and dogs. They don't, even Tessa will crawl over my cat. So instincts to eat, poop, drink, and seek shelter. But I think you have a snake and spend time with them, it goes beyond. Those instincts start to diminish. And I'm not saying your snake will love you in the sense of love. And the reason why I say that is, you seem very wise about snakes. Most snakes that look at size and anatomy, and then mine, you seem. Thanks, S-Vape. VAP. I say vape because I vape. Thank you. It's what I try and do, is see a different side of snakes to that, to what you're saying. You spend a lot of time with my snakes. Cup and corn snakes have great temperaments, but my milk snake is a grump. He's very defensive, yes. And time, just time, letting him know, well, okay, I respect that you're a bit of a grump, but I'm not going to hurt you. And there's more to life than you just laying there being a grump, mate. And once he realizes that there's a great life outside, and that trust becomes more and more with you. If he's like my Lily, she's more grumpy if she's put home than she is out. just takes time. And I want to touch on, yeah, I know you will work on it. Snake Whisperer. Oh, wow, that's a big title, isn't it? I still have snakes that'll bite me though, September girl. Like my Tessa. She's kind of the first one that I've come up against that's given me a bit of a run on this, but that's okay. That's fine. I have grumpy days, but I'll get there, and I know I will. See, that's I know I will, and I know she will. So I'm okay. But I want to touch on the word love, because how old were you when you got your first snake? You know, Esper. How old's Jack? Is coming up 8. So I was 50 when I really got into deciding this was it for me. This was my passion. This is what I really, really love. But I had a snake when I was about, I would say 36 as well. But this is when I really decided this was something that I really wanted to educate myself on. I've known people with snakes for a long time and seen the way they cared for them, and I kept thinking, it doesn't feel right to me. But what could I say? I didn't have any of my own. I couldn't make judgments to anybody, and I'm not making judgments now about people either. I think now in a better place where I can say, hey, this is what I've seen, and this is what I've learnt, and this is what I know. That's all. Hi, Rita. Welcome. I couldn't have done that back then, but I knew things weren't right, and it wasn't just the only way, the way I was seeing them. And how could I say anything? I would have been looked at like, well, what do you know? You don't even have a snake. And it took me, several years to pick up a camera. So 7 years, really, I have spent observing and watching, taking notes, before I even picked up a camera and said, I'm ready to speak up. So I didn't just get them and decide I know everything. I wouldn't have known anything. But I do now. I believe I do now. Kind of going off, but are you going to the Brisbane rest? Yes. I am, actually. I am going there. Hi, Abiba. Lovely to see you is key. Yep, patience and persistence. That's all it is. Totally. Thanks, Rita. I appreciate that. Yep, I am going, and my daughter and Noah is coming along to that. And that's in April. From memory. What day? I'd love to. I will. Let me. I will just nick to your channel, so that me and my daughter, we haven't made. Oops, hang on. Hang on, I clicked the wrong one. I will get there. We haven't decided on what particular day as yet. Have we, Tay? Going to the Brisbane Reptile?
We got it. It's 20. There's only one day of it, isn't it? Or like,
no, it's over a few days from memory.
I thought it was like the 21st of March or something. 1 day, 10 till 4, or whatever it is.
I've subscribed. If you want to, you can actually go into my channel and I have my email. So maybe we can work something out, and we can meet up there for sure. I would love to actually do that, and catch up with you and meet you, and yeah, that would be great. So you let me know, and I'll see, or I'll let you know, and we can work around it, and we'll catch up. Yeah, we can do that for sure. So guys, I've no idea how long I've been on here. An hour. And I love being on here. Yeah, you could. Community chat for sure. You grew up in South Florida, so you're around snakes, but almost venomous. There was actually, look guys, I don't know if you've watched Wicked Wildlife's channel. Nick, great guy, very knowledgeable about things. If you haven't watched him, go and have a look. Not all of him. He has a lot of snake videos on there. He's just done one on about venomous and non-venomous snakes, and could they breed, and would we get cross? Of course, you would say to yourself, no way, but go and have a look and find out why. No way that could actually happen in reality of life. But it was, lots of people thought if venomous could breed with non-venomous, what would we end up with? And is it at all possible for that to happen? Go and check out his channel. He's a great guy. Wonderful, wonderful guy. And I think you would really like it. And he talks a lot about our native animals here in Australia. So if you would like to see more about them, Nick's the guy to go see. Wicked Wildlife is his channel name. And I think you won't be disappointed at all with, here he is sitting there free handling a red-bellied black snake. And if you know red-bellied black snakes, you'll know they're one of the most placid of our venomous snakes. And Nick would certainly not free handle one if it wasn't placid, and he knew it really well. So go and have a look. Grew up in South Florida. Yeah. Good. Thanks, September girl. And I'm sure Nick would really appreciate it. He's been going for a little while. And he's a great guy. Really, really great guy. You can ask him anything, and he's right there, and he'll answer straight away. He's a good bloke, and I have good bloke. Isn't that Aussie? But I do recommend you go and subscribe to his channel for sure. Hey, Jimmy. Hi, Jimmy. How you going? Good to see you. And I'm starting to wind it down now. My grandson's woken up, and Nana spends a little bit of time with his highness over there. Yeah, he's gorgeous. Snakes and grandchildren, like I said, what more do you want in life? And good friends. And if you haven't watched my reaction birthday video, please go and have a look so you can meet Heidi and Neo with their video. Lovely people, as you will see if you watch the video as well. And of course, Neo has a channel that he's getting going. And I don't know, Heidi, is he going to put up his video today of Ishi at all? He said he was. Neo says hello too. You nearly missed it. Yeah, it's okay, Jimmy. You know, I wasn't even able to live stream last week, and I get so disappointed when I can't, but that's my life. Sometimes I can and sometimes I can't, and if I can, I'm here. I will be here. Oh, so he is cool. I'm looking forward. So, you know, Neo's just starting out, and he has a blonde spotted python as well, who is learning to live with and learning to trust. So this is really a good video for you to see, just overcoming fears. And that is what Neo is doing every time he spends time with Ishi. And it's actually, I think, in lots of ways, Ishwa is the one allowing Neo to become less and less fearful of her. She's teaching him to not fear her. More than I think Neo is telling her to not fear him. It's amazing, amazing. Actually, just finishing the editing after your life. Cool. I look forward. Tell Neo I'll be waiting for it. So guys, I am going to finish up, and my grandson does his little jig and dances, don't you? And sings. Nana taught him that, to sing and to dance. And he's so cute when he does it. So anyway, guys, yeah, definitely. My guys are teachers to me. How do you think I know what I know about them? Because my snakes taught me everything as well. Heidi, everything. So guys, I want you to, by September girl, you have Brianni out with me now, and she's climbing your hair. She was, but I've tried to sort of keep it down here, Jimmy, so that everybody else can see her, not just me today. She's my most stay with mum girl snake. Thank goodness. And I think Apani will be very much the same. So at least I've got two that might hang with me and not want to disappear all the time to these hangout spots that I've got them. Oh, hi, Azzy. Hello. Poof. Did forget. No worries. And something told you to check. Yeah, Jimmy, it'd be good if he did a video too. I think every one of us that should band together and say, hey, this is how I care for my snake. I let them come out and I let them sit with me, and I do this with them and I do that with them, and I don't leave them sitting in their enclosures 24 hours a day. We need more and more and more and more. Actually, I'm not saying that they should never be in their enclosure. They should be. They've got to rest. They've got to thermal regulate. They have to do all those necessary things. But somebody didn't tell Lily that's how life is for a snake. She'd rather live out here in the hangout spots. You just did a video on your cup in the bathtub. She's about to shed, so you gave her a warm bath. Cool. I'll go and take a look at that. Absolutely. Thanks, Azzy. I know you love. I love you too, sweetie. Oh, good. Good on you, Heidi. JK, I think I'm sub to you, my friend. From memory. Yes, I definitely am, and I can see your video sitting right there. Yes, and I did have a look at your other ones with Brandy as well. So I'll go and check that one out as soon as I get off here. So guys, I'm going and I'm going and I'm going, and I always say I'm going, but I am. But more importantly, take care of yourself, your family, and of course, we always say, I will, Heidi. Heidi said hello. Taylor.
Oh, hey, Heidi.
I love having donuts for subs. No. somebody wants to subscribe to me, that's great. More importantly, I want you to love your snakes and love learning about snakes and what they're about. And if the people that watch me are learning about them and taking on a different view of them, and I know a lot have, honestly a lot have, and they let me know, then if that's 5 subscribers, that's great too. So, and I always say it's not about the numbers, it's about the people that support you. That is what's more important. So again, bye Azzy, bye everybody.
See you later, Azzy.
Been great seeing you all here today. It always is, and I really appreciate you always taking the time, because I know that time is so limited for some of us. But I appreciate it. So I love you all. All take care of yourself until I see you again next week here. Ciao, guys.